President William Ruto is creating a political blunder that will cost him in 2027 if he is not careful. Underrating his possible competitors in 2027 is the worst political blunder that the head of state can create as early as 2024. He might be declared a loser in 2027, and I'm going to support my argument shortly after watching this particular clip.
Wananchi wa Taveta tumekubaliana. Mnasema tembee pamoja. Mnasema tembee pamoja. Na mimi nataka niwaulize viongozi. Najua hawa viongozi kuna wengi wananisukuma sana. Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa viongozi, jameni, nyinyi relax. Sawa sawa? Mtihani iko 2027. Kila mtu ajipange hapa katikati. Si ndio? Waje kumangamanga wanaongea story mingi na hawana mpango. Ukiwauliza hii wewe unapinga hii, wapi mpango yako? Hawana, kuzurura tu, sijui nini, kuzurura tu. Lakini sawa tu, kuna maneno tutakutana kule mbele. Wacha nisiwachokoze sana saa hizi. Lakini nitakutana na wao ama namna gani? Si ndio?
Please like the video to reach many people as possible, and in case it is your first time, support us by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. The reality on the ground, and I can give you a good example by what happened in Botswana. President Masisi, the former president of Botswana, thought that the current president, Duma Boko, was not a worthy competitor, and he thought he was going to win a second term. But President Duma Boko was able to beat him badly, and that is how he became the sixth president of Botswana. What makes you think that it cannot happen in Kenya? So underrating his political competitors by sending that particular warning that tukutane 2027. And the reality on the ground is that the head of state is not going to win a second term easily, because it is not going to be a walk in the park. There are factors to be considered whether he will win 2027 presidential elections. The first factor is whether the head of state will deliver the promises he made in 2027. Whether the current cabinet will make a change before 2027. The president has been accused so many times of lying to the people of Kenya, and therefore that is a factor whether he will deliver those promises to the people of Kenya will determine whether Kenyans will change their minds to elect President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Number two, Raila Amolo Odinga is a factor. Let us not beat about the bush. Raila Odinga, if he loses African Union Commission chairmanship bid, then the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Ruto, is doomed. It might be a one-term president if he is not careful. Despite the fact there is a perception that ODM is now in government. If you can listen to what the current chairperson for ODM party, Governor Gladys Wanga, is saying, that ODM must be in power in 2027. And we all know that President William Ruto, without Raila Odinga now, his government is doomed. That is the reality. The third factor, the Gen Z, or maybe the youth of Kenya. These people are politically awake, and they're just waiting for the right time to strike. That is the reality on the ground because they are now aware that they must vote to give themselves a better government. Remember what they did on 25th June? They were able to demonstrate to President William Ruto that, you know what, we can take back our country. The head of state must be careful with any warning that is sending to his political competitors. The fourth factor is Rigathi Gachagua. Why do I say this? Rigathi Gachagua is going to campaign very hard to ensure that President William Ruto does not get any votes in Mount Kenya region because that is the region that voted overwhelmingly for President Ruto in 2022. And if Raila Odinga loses, then the effect of Rigathi Gachagua will be felt. Kalonzo Musyoka, it is clear he is going to run for presidency. And it is clear that Rigathi Gachagua is going to support him because he was able to order his troops in parliament and senate to try to save Rigathi Gachagua, but it was impossible. It was too late. Now allow me to react to what happened in Taita Taveta County. Now the head of state is now working with cabinet secretaries like Ali Hassan Joe, Salim Vuria. And I strongly believe that is making hidden moves. It was not just about launching government projects, which is his democratic right and also his right as the head of state to launch government projects because he is the leader of that government. Now, bringing Hassan Joe and Salim Buda together, the head of state is trying to consolidate his support in coastal region. But this can be affected if Raila Odinga loses AU seat and also many Kenyans who don't believe in President William Ruto's agenda anymore. Don't rule that. Don't rule this perception that Kenyans are awake politically. Do not rule that. Then, number two, is also making a blunder of launching these projects thinking that Kenyans will vote for him because they will say that this president is now working. That is a worst. The head of state is now working with cabinet secretaries like Ali Hassan Joe, Salim Vuria. And I strongly believe that is making hidden moves. It was not just about launching government projects, which is his democratic right and also his right as the head of state to launch government projects because he is the leader of that government. Now, bringing Hassan Joe and Salim Buda together, the head of state is trying to consolidate his support in coastal region. But this can be affected if Raila Odinga loses AU seat and also many Kenyans who don't believe in President William Ruto's agenda anymore. Don't rule that. Don't rule this perception that Kenyans are awake politically. Do not rule that. Then, number two is also making a blunder of launching these projects thinking that Kenyans will vote for him because they will say that this president is now working. That is a worst blunder. That is just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. In case you have any counter opinion, feel free to share in the comment section. I promised at the end of my videos to carry out civic education. You need to register as a voter, you need to demonetize politics, and also vote for a policy. Bye for now. I will see you in the next video.